On this episode of Bus Talk, we're going to talk about the Child Alert System and children abandoned on school buses.
This channel covers all stuff about school bus driving. It's about getting kids to and from school safely to support learning. We'll talk about the lighter side of the student transport system. My wife and I married over 30 years ago. We raised 2 adult sons. We love our pets. I had a demanding and stressful career. In 2018, we decided to leave the rat race behind. I trained to be a school bus driver. This is the story of the joys and frustrations of driving big yellow machines.
Hi, this is Paul at Bus Talk. Here at Bus Talk, we talk about everything having to do with school buses, focusing on getting kids to and from school safely to promote learning. On this episode of Bus Talk, we're going to talk about the Child Alert System and students that are left on school buses. So it's a common problem that students are left or abandoned on school buses after the drivers complete their routes. I'm filming this near the end of January 2023, and just doing a Google search, I found in the last 4 months there are at least 4 incidents in the United States of children being left on the school bus driver finishing their route and then leaving the child on the bus unattended. So the first one I found was in October 25th, 2022. This was on the ArkansasOnline.com in Bentonville, Arkansas. In this case, the parents of a 5-year-old were suing a school district. A substitute bus driver left a boy on the bus, and he was found 5 hours later, and the boy was dehydrated and had wet himself. Okay, another incident occurred in December 14th of 2022. This one was on NBCPhiladelphia.com. In Delaware, a 7-year-old boy was left on a bus alone for hours until found in the bus yard. In this case, the driver is on leave pending investigation. Another incident happened on January 5th in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Information was on WAFB.com. A 5-year-old with special needs. This student was left on board for 5 hours until by a substitute driver. The bus had gotten stuck in the mud, and the substitute driver failed to have this special needs student removed from the bus. It wasn't found until later when the bus was actually brought back to the bus yard. Then another incident on January 13th, 2023 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A bus driver was arrested after allegedly leaving a special needs boy on the bus. The boy was found on the street after finding his way off the bus after being abandoned on the bus. In all these cases, my heart goes out to these children and these families involved in these students abandoned on the school bus by their bus drivers. Here in California, there was a tragic incident. We call it the Paul Lee tragedy. This tragedy happened in September 2015. Paul Lee was an autistic 19-year-old boy who died after being left on a school bus in Whittier, California on a hot day. In this case, the school bus driver in this case was sentenced to 2 years in prison, and ultimately the school district paid a settlement of almost $24 million. In this case, this tragedy led to California changing the law, and in California, all school buses have to have a child alert alarm or a child alert system This is also known as the Child Checkmate System. All buses in California have had to have the Child Checkmate System installed since 2018. Child Checkmate is a brand name for a child alert system, kind of like facial tissue Kleenex is a brand name for facial tissue. The way that a child alert system works is that every time you turn off the bus and remove the keys and your master switch is off on the bus, there is an audible alarm that tweets, reminding you that you have to go to the back of the bus and you have to push this button in the back of the bus. You push that button right there, and the lights flash on the inside of the bus, and there's an additional audible alarm that tells you that you've disarmed the Child Checkmate. What that does is it makes you come to the back of the bus and makes you look at all the seats and make sure there's no child that's still back here asleep or hiding or having some other kind of medical issue. So you have to check the back of the bus at the end of every route. If you do not push that button and you open the doors to the bus without disarming the Child Checkmate System, the bus's horn starts to honk, and the horn will continue to honk until you close the doors, put your keys back in the bus, turn it to auxiliary, remove the keys, and then come to the back of the bus and hit the Child Checkmate button. Okay, so what can we learn from these children abandoned on the bus? The one thing that's not clear on these cases that I've discussed with you is whether these buses in Delaware, Wisconsin, Louisiana, and Arkansas were equipped with the child alert system. But what we can learn from these incidents is many cases, when children are abandoned on the bus, it has to do with substitute drivers. Many cases there has to do with special needs children. So if you are either a substitute driver, are new on the route, or have special needs children on your bus, you need to be really careful that you are checking your bus at the end of every day. The other thing I want to say is that the Child Safety Alert System is a good safety system, but it's not a fail-safe. I know for a fact of cases that buses that have been equipped with a child alert system or a child checkmate system where the children have, a child has been left on the bus by the driver and later on found on the bus. It's my personal feeling that any bus driver who leaves a child after the route abandoned on the bus is guilty of dereliction of duty. It really has to do with being complacent, not paying attention to details, and it's my opinion that any driver that abandons a child on a bus should be terminated immediately, have their school bus driver certificate revoked. And depending on the facts of each case, I think that these drivers should be prosecuted for child endangerment under the laws of their respective states. So I'm really interested in hearing under the comments on this video what other school bus drivers think on this issue, and whether you have child alert systems or child checkmate systems installed on your school buses. So leave comments and questions on this video, and remember, safety is essential.